Hey everybody, it's me, Zach, and it's my first episode of The World According to Zach. It's supposed to be a Facebook live streaming event, but unfortunately, Facebook live streaming is having some issues. So I'm just going to go ahead and record this meeting now, and then I'm going to go ahead and share it on the World According to Zach page. So the whole reason that I'm starting this now is because, well, I'm on day 20 of self-isolation, stay at home, and I have plenty of free time on my hands. And I'm getting creative and I'm learning new technologies every day. I'm also doing this because my boss, Mark DeGennaro, one of the most awesome bosses in the world, had a brilliant idea of doing a live stream Ask the Expert series. And I'm doing it first to work out all the kinks so that he comes across as a rock star in his when he does his first live streaming event, either Wednesday or Friday of this week. We're super excited about it. So the topics today are really going to be, I'm all about video. I'm trying to keep this light, airy, fun, and informative. So I've got a great tax guy on today, Charles McDonald. We'll be talking to him in a minute, and along the lines of video. So as human beings, we are super social creatures. We love face-to-face interaction and communication. We do some of our best work when we come together in groups, whether it be community groups of family, nonprofits, businesses, and we start thinking together and engaging. It's really when we come up with our best ideas and solutions. And the face-to-face communication also staves off depression. So during this COVID-19 thing, it's important that we're reaching out to as many people as possible via video so that they can see our faces, so that we can help everybody get through this and like stave off depression and inspire creativity. So, and we all need to laugh a little bit. So along those lines of laughter, I am going to go ahead and show you my next segment, which I like to call ZachZzingers. These are fun memes and comics that I've collected over the past week. So here we go. The first one is Coachella. Hey, I had lots of friends who were super excited about Coachella. They might not be able to do that, but they can definitely do Couchella this year. Dogs are finally getting their revenge. Could you imagine if we were all walking around with these cones around our heads? Do you guys remember this show? The original originator of social distancing. And toilet paper. The toilet paper jokes just keep coming and coming and coming. I can't wait till we get back to an era where we stop talking about toilet paper. And finally, I don't have kids, but if I did, I'd be wondering how I could transfer them out of my class. So kudos to all those awesome parents that are homeschooling everybody. And that brings me back to my second rant. So video technologies, right? So we got to make sure we're looking at what's in our backgrounds. So I don't want to see the camera looking up at the vent in your ceiling, and I don't want to see the camera looking at the dirty sinks behind you. So take a moment first and make sure that like you got everything set up for your video meeting so that you're looking your best. It's pretty easy to do. There's lots of videos on the internet. Secondly, if you got the time, and most of us have the time now, go ahead and get creative. So today, over the weekend, I created this little 3-dimensional video set for myself. It was a lot of fun. It got me using my right brain, and it was pretty cool. So, and then I got these 2 new flamingos here. I need to name them, guys. Does anybody know what kind of names that they'd be? Well, go ahead and let me know. And speaking of animals, that brings me to my next funny, let's see here, if I can do this. That brings me to my next segment, which is, oh no, I'm doing this wrong, but bear with me. These are the things that we thought might happen, and there we go. And my next one is called Fuzzy, Furry, Funny. It's all about dogs and cats and the funny things that the animals do. And I'm gonna keep it with videos in this segment. So let me bring this up, and I've got some funny videos for everybody. Where did that go? That one. This one. There we go. And so, oh my gosh, so I want everybody to also keep sharing with me any fun animal videos they've got or memes that they like in the meantime. I think that's super great. And let's see here. And here we go with my Video animal. Dog's doing the cutest thing. And pigs can scare the cats. Look at that poodle there. Boom! That ends our segment there on my funny, fuzzy, funny, warm pets things. So this brings me to my great segment with my tax guy that I'm bringing on today. It's Charles McDonald. Charles, if I can see you, that would be great. So we got Charles here on the screen. And again, everybody, I'm sorry that we're unable to Facebook live stream it because of those technical difficulties, but I've got some people asking lined up to ask some questions. So Charles McDonald, he's a good friend. He's been doing taxes for a long time, I think 17 years. His father, grandfather, and sister did taxes, and both his grandmother and grandfather worked for the IRS. This guy knows taxes. Did I get all that information right, Charles?
Sounds right.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us today. I'm just going to hop right into the question. So my first question, Charles, is so say I'm 1% trillionaire. What's the best way for me to hide money from the IRS?
Well, Zach, it's probably best to get a new citizenship and move out of the U.S.
Okay, so if I'm hearing that right, what Charles is saying is that you can't hide money from the IRS unless you just live in a country that doesn't have the IRS. So the next thing I wanted to ask Charles about is there's all sorts of like COVID information coming out about some checks and stuff that's coming out. And my first question is about taxes. I heard that taxes has been delayed this year.
Right. The deadline for filing your tax return and paying any taxes that you owe is now July 15th.
July 15th. And so would that also include business people or?
It includes business people, but not estates or trusts.
Okay, so if I heard you right, everybody can wait until July 15th, except for those super uber rich people who have trusts and estates, and they got to make sure that they still file and pay their taxes by April 15th.
Right, or file an extension.
Or file an extension. Okay, yeah, I think rich people file extensions a lot. So, my next subject to you was I was hearing this great thing about small businesses and some sort of like tax incentive if they kept their employees. Why don't you tell me about that?
That's right. There's two different kinds of incentives. One is a refundable tax credit. And a refundable tax credit means even if you had a loss or break even in your business, that you will get that refund.
Okay.
As a check or in your bank account. This would apply to small businesses under 100 employees that keep full employment, and the refund would be equal to half the payroll.
Okay, wait, so I want to make sure I'm hearing this right. So if you have 1 to 99 employees as a small business owner, you keep those employees, that you can get a tax credit or rebate for 50% of what you paid for them up to 4 months?
Up to 4 months, that's correct.
Okay, wow. And they should probably get in touch with their accountants. I'm sure there's like certain kind of requirements and stuff go with that.
Right, there are rules, and it ratchets down if you don't keep everyone employed. So you have to keep good records on your payroll.
Okay, absolutely. Well, that's exciting. I bet a lot of people didn't know about that. So, so take advantage of that. And if you have any other questions, of course, you can email me or message me, and I'll make sure that those questions get to Charles. One other subject I wanted to talk about that I'd heard about are these forgivable small business loans. Do you know anything about that as related to this COVID-19 stimulus package?
All right, there's $350 billion allotted to these small business loans, which you will apply for with the Small Business Administration, and they'll have information on that website there. But basically, that is for small businesses with 500 or fewer employees.
Okay. So there are some loans available that can be forgiven. They're being pretty generous with the amounts. You need to go to the Small Business Administration website to fill out the application to get those loans, right?
Yeah, that's right. And that also is dependent on whether you keep all of the employees fully employed. And what's forgivable is generally ratcheted down if you say keep half of your employees. The details are not out, fully out yet.
Details aren't out yet. But it sounds like a pretty good program. So if you're like
Yes.
doing some certain things to keep your employees, you can get a loan now, and and if you meet all the requirements, that loan can be forgiven. So that's going to help a lot of small businesses get through this really tough time, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Hey, Charles, do you mind if we open this up for a couple of questions here? I've got a couple people online today that have some questions for you. I'm going to
Go ahead.
with,
sure, Zach.
Yeah, hey, so Karen, it looks like you were here first. Did you have a question for Charles? Oh, Karen, I can't hear you. Can you unmute yourself?
There we go. All right. Okay, so with the stimulus package, if someone makes over 75,000 but less than 100,000, what should they be expecting back or expecting out of it?
Okay, Karen. What generally happens is the $1,200 is available to anyone up to 75,000, and it goes down to zero if you're at 99,000. So suppose you made 87,000, then you would get a $600 payment instead of $1,200, as an example.
Did that answer your question, Karen?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Okay, great. Maria online asked, is this income, are these checks going to be taxable?
My understanding is they are not taxable. Still waiting to read the full regulations, but that's what I understand.
Okay, so we're living in a fluid moment. It looks like all signs right now from the government are going to be that it is not taxable. Things can change when the IRS finally interprets the law, but as of right now, it looks like it's going to be not taxable.
Right.
Fantastic.
That's right, Zach.
Okay, I hope that answers your question, Maria, down in Santa Barbara. And now I've got Allison here on a live chat with us, video, and Allison's also here from Elk Grove. Allison, what's your question for Charles?
Yes, actually, Charles might have just answered this, but my husband and I made over $250,000 in 2018. So will we not be getting a stimulus check?
Most likely you won't get anything if that's W-2 income. That's right.
Okay.
Sorry to say.
Oh, Allison, I'm sorry. It doesn't look like you're going to be getting any extra money this year, but I'm sorry. That's all I can say for that. And then it looks like I've got Teresa, who is in the Sacramento area, and her question is that her son didn't make enough money to have to file in 2018. Will he be able to get a stimulus check, and what would he have to do?
Zach, if he has not filed a 2018 or 19 tax return, he will not get any money. So what he needs to do is promptly file a 2018 or 19 tax return, even if it's zero income and zero tax. And ideally, if he wants the money quickly, he should include his bank account number and routing number in an electronically filed tax return.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. So if you didn't file your 2018 taxes because you were either getting money back or you just haven't done it yet, you still can do that. Get it in right away so that you get the stimulus check. And if you can, include your banking information so that you get it directly deposited faster than they're going to be mailing out checks. So
right, because some people are estimating that the checks may not come for a few months.
Okay. Well, let's hope not, because a lot of people out there need those checks. So, hey, everybody, that's about all the time I have today for Charles. You can keep emailing or messaging your messages. I'll get them to Charles, and we'll get back to you with those informations. And thank you for coming into Charles. Thank you for your questions, Karen, Allison, and everybody. And I just want to leave with this final note. Since it's all about video right now in this virtual world, let's try and reach out to 5 people today via video. Those people who are at home, isolated, your grandmothers, your grandparents, and just touch base with them and let them know how much we love them.
Or your
and
tax
if there's any way we
preparer.
can help.
Or your
Yes. And all these people are here to help too. Okay. So thanks, everybody. That's my first episode of The World According to Zach. I appreciate everybody watching. Bye.